Did you hit the camera?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Good thing you're here.
Yeah, I know. Fuck. If it wasn't for me, whole fucking ship would go down in flames, man.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna raw dog it today,
Nice.
so I can put this whole mic inside my mouth.
That's good. I like it. Hang on. Let me fucking make a bunch of noise moving this around.
Nice.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I think we're probably about the same.
Good.
Say something.
No.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
On it for the fucking camera, the amount of times I do that.
It's a lot.
I go over there and like check the angles all good and then just walk away from it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, is the picture good? Maybe I should turn the video on.
Yeah. Nah. Don't want to.
This face is what sells this podcast. I hope you know. I hope you know that.
Yeah.
That after we started videoing,
if we were an audio only version, we would be doomed.
100%.
Yeah.
So when we started videoing, those views, they just shot up.
Views shot up.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. And
can't wait.
We know the reason.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to have multiple camera angles so we can get nice 4K close-ups.
I want one shooting right up like this.
Just the crotch shot.
Yeah, so it can be just like, imagine at home just looking up at us talking into the mic.
But we're not like looking down at the camera. We're like looking at each other.
I use that angle a lot, bro.
Oh, yeah. It would be like, I know, well, this is not relevant, but sort of relevant. But on Tom Segura's podcast, Your Mom's House, which is him and his wife.
Okay.
They have the fart mic, so they just have a mic kind of near their butts, which is just so ridiculous. But
lowbrow humor is the best humor.
It honestly is. Lowbrow humor. That is. Yeah.
What the fuck did you send me today? Bert Kreischer.
Oh, Bert
dancing.
Did you watch it?
I watched it. I was like, why did you send me?
Dude, that's so funny.
I was laughing the whole time.
Are you at all caught up with? Because they're Sober October, they want to do like a hip-hop dance challenge is what they want to do for the kind of fitness/contest aspect of it this year.
That could be hilarious.
Like all the like everywhere, everyone's like, do it. But Joe Rogan doesn't want to do it, I guess.
Come on, Joe.
But it would be so funny, and I think that's part of why Bert did that to like, yeah. And I don't know. He's actually... I mean, he did a good job.
Fairly good dancer, yeah.
It's hilarious. So,
yeah. Who's part of it this year?
Ari Shaffir, Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, and Joe Rogan.
Oh,
same.
They don't bring in like Dalia or like Schaub?
No, this has always been the same crew. They've done it like 3 years. This is the 3rd year in a row they do it, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for 3/4 of that group, I'm sure that's very difficult.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, Joe Rogan can't smoke weed during it, so that's probably. But then other guys make fun of Joe Rogan, like his fighter friends, because they're like, "Man, you're in a contest with basically a bunch of fat guys, a fitness contest."
Yeah, I was gonna say he seems like a fairly disciplined person, so it's
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a little bit easier for him, but
yeah, I think so. But I don't know. Maybe it's good in that situation to have someone who's going to blatantly
push everybody else,
kick your ass and outdo you to push everyone else sort of thing.
I just remember him like talking about last year how they had those Garners or whatever, like the fitness trackers.
Yeah.
And just talking about how they're doing like 4-hour workouts and shit and Yeah.
So, I don't know.
We going that intense? All right.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have 4 hours a day to work out.
I was about to say, if anyone can make the time, it's you and me to spend that much time in the
What are
gym.
you talking about? I did an 8-hour arm workout yesterday for Rich Piana. R.I.P., bro.
Yeah, R.I.P. For those who don't know, yesterday, which is August 25th,
Yes.
is the 2-year anniversary of Rich Piana's untimely death.
Yes.
I mean, not to speak ill of the dead, maybe it was somewhat timely, but
Maybe. I
Yeah.
didn't read the autopsy
Yeah.
report, but Nathan did inform me of quite a few things.
he was not a healthy guy. But
That's okay.
he inspired millions, and his consciousness is effectively preserved on the internet.
I prayed to him last night
Yeah.
for all the gains. We all went for cheesecake last night, too, because it's become this, like, yearly tradition,
Yeah.
and it's going to continue forever. So, August 25th, Cheesecake Day,
Yep.
Rich Piana Day.
4 months before Christmas. That's how you remember.
There
Rich
you go.
Piana Day.
I was a little bit let down by the cheesecake this year.
Yeah, it was good, but it wasn't.
It wasn't Oreo good.
No.
Last year's
I
was
was
so
about to
much
say,
better.
Yeah, like Oreo cheesecake is kind of the way to go. That's about it. I don't know.
I ate so much cheesecake in Montreal.
Really? Why?
I don't know.
Just a phase.
I did it to piss off Adam because when I eat cheesecake, I rip farts.
So you guys are living in close proximity. So you're like,
So I was just
hey,
like,
Adam. He like
time to eat cheese.
you guys go out for lunch, and then it's like you finish your meals. And it's like, would you gentlemen like dessert? No. Hang on, I have to go to the bathroom. Josh, don't order any cheesecake. And then comes back to you, just have like a quarter slice.
Yeah.
Man.
I miss Cheesecake Factory or Cheesecake Cafe. Cheesecake Cafe.
Oh yeah, that did close.
I know. Because that was actually dope.
It was actually
cheesecake.
pretty good.
Well, I mean, it's called the Cheesecake Cafe.
Yeah.
So
Which is, I mean, if it's in your name, it should be the one thing you're not bad at.
I'm going to make a confession. I had never ate a cheesecake until Rich Piana Day
2017.
2017.
Literally me too.
I thought I was the only one.
No, you know what? I actually tried it when I was little and didn't like it. So I always just assumed I didn't like cheesecake. And
That
then,
was the exact same with me.
yeah. And then I had it then.
I was blown away.
Yeah. Maybe I might have had it. Actually, someone made like a pumpkin pie cheesecake one time around fall, which was quite good. And I think that was maybe the second time I had it, and the third time, Rich Piana Day.
Nice.
We needed to console ourselves, so we decided.
Cheesecake's keto, bro.
Yeah, keto.
There's no sugar in there whatsoever.
Same with pizza.
R.I.P. Rich.
Yeah. I don't know if I said it or I started to say it, but I feel like someone like him, kind of a cool meta thing to think about is he's effectively preserved his consciousness because he has so much video content out there of him.
We're going to get into this now.
His personality,
yeah,
he is forever on and within the internet. You can't really go interact with it per se, but he is preserved there forever. Right, what?
I'm blowing into the mic right now. Sorry for people that don't.
Yeah.
I didn't use the pop filter today. We were just talking about this. I'm raw dogging it, but
sounds like we're recording like outside.
That's such a deep statement.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I actually, yeah, some sort of media personality, let's call him, said that one time, like a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I really thought about that, and I'm like, damn, he's kind of right. Like, it's not like, I'm trying to think of like what that fucking movie is where there's like a super sentient AI. Like maybe it's not that, but you are there.
Kind of.
Right? I don't know.
I can go pray to you. I can go watch your videos.
Yeah.
Except I can't go read the fucking comments because your fucking ex-wife took down all the funny comments.
Did she actually?
Yes. There were so many good comments. On that note, have you seen on Facebook that you can actually like dictate somebody to take control of your account when you pass away?
No.
I didn't know that?
Did not know that.
So there's actually in the setting, you can go in and say, I want my account deleted when I pass away,
Yeah.
or I want to give X person or persons management of my account when I pass away for like memory's sake.
Wow. Huh.
I think I want my account deleted. Just saying.
You like assign it to your mom, and then she's like, "Oh, it's so nice. He has all these pictures. I'm gonna save of him. Let's see the nice things his friends were saying in the messages." Then your ghost is like, "Mom, no."
Let's go see those drunken photographs from
Yeah.
2012.
I was thinking more the DMs.
Those are very wholesome.
Just sharing and engaging with friends and family online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to
Good.
put
Me
it.
too. Nothing to worry about there. Man, that is actually, wow, I was actually thinking about that the other day just because I was going through my followers and I noticed someone who has passed away. His Instagram is still, like,
Okay.
it exists and it's still
Yeah.
out there.
Do I know him?
Yes.
Okay.
But I was kind of just like, I don't know. I kind of had like a bit of a moment looking at him like, damn. But I also wonder how that works, like as like a family member. If you want to leave it or if you wanted to take it down and Facebook didn't have, like this was before this feature.
Yeah, I think it's kind of because we culminate all of this media into one profile, right? So you have the ability to go look at Thomas's profile and he has all these photos from whenever you incepted your Facebook account of 2007 or whatever. Yeah. So you have all the memories going back. Like I don't have that many memories on my phone or my computer or anything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I have
even my Facebook and stuff doesn't go that far back. Like I did a pretty good purge of just untagging stuff. Like I know there are quite a few photos.
Those
of
photos
me out
are
there.
still out there though.
Oh yeah, they're there forever.
I know.
But I kind of just once I got to a point where I had a lot of clients on Facebook.
Fair enough.
I just wanted to.
You lock the profile down?
Yeah.
Is it public? Did you make a public profile?
It is public.
Yeah.
But
you locked everything down?
Yeah, and then just remove tags on a lot of things. Yeah. And I have it where I have to approve anything someone tags me in and stuff.
Same.
Yeah. Granted, maybe Facebook would be a good spot to refine that one a bit more because my Instagram is public.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you're very like Instagram, you're like almost uber selective of what you post, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Facebook, at least back in the day, Facebook was more so like, I'm on Facebook. Look at my stupid statuses. Look at me rant at this.
It was Twitter-esque in many ways.
Song lyrics.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Well, remember, it's so funny now because now Facebook has been around long enough that people share like a 10-year memory of like a status from, 2009.
Sure.
If not earlier. And they're always so funny. And I almost would, because I definitely deleted Facebook and recreated it at some point between I first got it in like 2007 and now.
I remember that, yeah.
So, unfortunately, the first 3 or 4 years in the primordial wastelands of Facebook are gone for me, but it's sad to say.
Actually, there was one of these days, I don't know, fairly recently. Well, actually, you know what happened was when they did that, like the data dump where you could go in and see all the data they had on you and stuff.
Oh, you know what? I never looked at that, but anyways.
You can actually like download a file of everything. And
wait. Yeah. Anyways.
It was fairly interesting to look at mine because I must be the most fucking boring person to market to ever. It's like interests, books.
I mean, does it also do it how, because Facebook marketing in Canada, you can't be as tailored as the interests as you can in the US.
Okay.
Right? Which is...
Still has all my past relationships, bringing it back.
Oh, yeah?
To haunt me. No, I'm just kidding, girls.
That's funny. Interests. Books.
Yeah, it's like books. business. It's actually so funny.
Books down business.
But on that tangent, I was going back through, like, I actually scrolled back through my fucking feed to Inception and looked at all the shit that I said. There is some pretty funny stuff. There's some savage shit that I said.
Like, was it trying to be funny, or was it just...
Man, I'd never try to be funny. I'm just a funny dude. Come on.
Yeah, okay, man.
There was some funny shit. Some stuff that I probably shouldn't repeat, but it was, you can go back through my profile. It's there. It is there, but yeah.
Please explain this tweet from 2007. Like, I was 14 years old.
I don't have a single skin cell from 14 years ago. I'm a completely different person.
Yeah, exactly.
So
single skins. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
when you think about it, though, it's like, okay, so you say something and it's on the internet forever, i.e. this podcast.
Yeah.
Are people going to come after you 10 years down the line?
Yeah.
But
I would almost welcome that, as long as it's not, I mean, I don't think I think or say that bad of things anyways.
Okay.
But
10 years down the line,
maybe.
what if us talking is now illegal?
Yeah, we're going full 1984 sort of thing.
I'm just, I'm just kind of riffing here, but like, I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So to bring something back historically from what I said 10 years ago, just an example, like, you're making an argument on a very unsteady foundation there,
Yeah. No, absolutely. And it's, well, even a meta thought or argument or whatever to go with that is, when you are arguing with someone over something they said X years ago, but if you agree with the statement that you are not, like, physically, in many ways, you are literally not the same being you are from X years ago, you're not even arguing with the correct person.
Whoa. That's a good point. That is a good point. But I mean, I don't think the same I thought even 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So for me to...
Yeah, exactly, right?
Like,
so
I don't know, man. It's an interesting world we live in that,
I think, I don't know. To me, I feel like people are becoming woke to the ridiculousness of a lot of things.
I think so,
out there.
too. Yeah, I think so, too.
Maybe we'll see a step back or a pendulum pendulum swing back the other way. Paradigm shift. I'm trying to think.
I know what you're trying to say.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're trying to say.
So,
you ever argued with a girl, though? She brings up shit from like 3 months ago. It's like that, just like on a...
I just think it's funny that...
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, honey.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I don't know, yeah. That's funny.
I've definitely thought about that a lot, though. I just don't argue on the internet.
Me neither. It's such a waste of time, and I've truly
100%.
I've truly never cared to. And then I also started eventually believing, hey, if you get in an argument with an idiot, you are the idiot. And I also know most people don't change their minds on things.
No. So
generally speaking.
You're not going to change somebody's mind by typing in a wall of text.
Oh, absolutely. That's especially from a persuasion point of view, pretending you believe it is possible to somehow change someone's opinion on something.
Yeah.
A wall of text is the worst way to go about it, right? Just click keyboard warrioring it. Right?
You know what, man? I'm going to go back to the Naval podcast with Joe Rogan again, because I think we've mentioned it like 3 or 4 times on our show.
Oh, yeah.
But oh my God, he made a point in that where he was talking about literally this, and he was saying, how do you have so much time? Like, do you put that much time into your kids, into your family? You have that much time to argue with an absolute stranger online. I don't know.
Yeah,
People need to get their priorities straight.
That's probably the most grounded and best way to look at it.
Mm-hmm. I laughed very hard when you said that.
Yeah, that I actually remember that now that you say
He's like,
it.
how much do you work out?
Yeah, hey, I mean, well, that's just being looking extrinsically or intrinsically for...
Other way around. You're looking outside yourself.
You are, but you should be
Looking
have the ability
inside.
to be intrinsic is where I was trying to go with that.
But
Yeah, I mean, kind of look self-reflective, and I also think for me, because I like to think my psychological understanding of the world is fairly good, such that...
we all do, though.
But,
it's like we all think we're good drivers.
But that's exactly it, is everyone thinks they're a good driver. Everyone thinks they have common sense, and most people lack it. Everyone generally thinks...
And I am.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone, generally speaking, thinks their political views are correct and other people's are wrong.
Yeah.
And people would see the world their way if they just had some piece of information they had.
Yeah.
And it's just your perception bias sort of thing. There's a better word for that. But no one is immune to it.
As 100%. I know I'm not immune to it.
And
even though I am.
Yeah, same. Everyone else is different. You and I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
But to me, then, knowing that's kind of how I look at the world, where there's not a lot of point of me really arguing with people, because I know they see the world through their eyes because of their experience, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And I see things my way, and that's just the way it is, right?
I think that...
and for better or for worse, right?
I think at the end of the day, you just look for people that see the world the same way as you.
Yep.
And you build a group
around
that.
Exactly.
Whatever that looks like. Your group might be very small if you like My Little Pony and stuff, but our whole viewership's gone now.
Bronies.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that is what it is you look for the similarities, because I think there's way more of them than there's differences.
I think so. And if, I don't know, you the amount you think about other people and what they're thinking about, there's a good chance they're not thinking about you.
Not thinking about you.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I have a pretty kind of what's the word I want to use here? A blissful, laissez-faire sort of view of the world, where I know there's very little about the world I can control. In fact, one could argue the only things I can truly control are what I do and think in any given moment. And even some things, such as what you think, aren't entirely under your control, because it can be affected by different hormonal levels and stuff too, right?
So, and inputs too.
Yeah, right? And inputs, stimulus. Yeah. So the universe is kind of chaotic, and you can just kind of enjoy the journey, or you can fret about the chaos.
We're just monkeys wearing shoes, man.
On a highly sentient monkeys on a rock soaring through space at insurmountably inconceivable fast speeds, right?
Did you see the thing about the black hole swallowing the neutron star or whatever?
No.
Oh, there's some big shit about that. They detected a black hole consuming like a neutron star or something, and the neutron star,
like relatively nearby to Earth?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm butchering this story already, but
give me the cliff notes.
A neutron star is like smaller than our sun, but has like way more mass.
Because is it a neutron star not imploding?
I think it's like the end of a star.
Yeah.
It's like when it goes supernova and then it goes.
Yes.
Buh.
But doesn't a neutron star eventually become a black hole? Because it...
I think if it weighs enough.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Could be wrong.
But a black hole swallowed one. So what's the implication of that?
They just detected it for the first time.
Oh, it's just some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's just some crazy out there shit. Yeah. So
interesting.
My understanding of this stuff probably should be a little bit better. I took an introductory astrology course.
Yeah.
So
I took Psych 101, so I now know how what your thoughts and feelings mean.
Yeah, exactly. No, that actually was a pretty fun course. There's a lot of math involved, but astronomy, not astrology. I said astrology. I said,
well, we've had recent
we're gonna have a fucking field day with that one.
Yeah.
I know who's gonna have a field day with that.
Who's gonna like that one?
Oh, yeah. You're an Aries.
I love the memes you were sending to that group where it's like, well, I cheated on my husband and spent all our money, but what are you going to do, Pisces, right?
I think it was it Pisces or it was
I don't even know.
It was one of the signs that Jack is.
Oh, okay.
Whatever
sure.
the sign she is, because I actually laughed pretty hard.
I forgot already.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Astronomy, not astrology.
Yeah. You know, I actually...
Real science.
Ooh. Called out. My, my mom actually, when I was a little kid, I remember she took like some sort of observatory class or course or whatever at the Space and Science Center, where you got to go use their super fancy fucking telescopes and stuff. And I don't know, she seemed to think it was pretty cool. So.
I did too.
Did you?
He made us go 3 times during the semester. And
right. I remember this.
So I saw Saturn. I saw the International Space Station.
Yep.
I saw the craters on the moon. I saw Uranus. That joke is getting fucking old already. But I actually brought like a girl on a date there. It was a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually would maybe want to go check that place out.
I think the one at U of A may be better.
Oh, really?
Just based on like the technology they have, but there was nothing to complain about at the Space and Science Center.
Mm-hmm.
It's all outside though, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Would recommend. It's a good time. Made some friends.
Cool. I like it.
They're all hyper nerds. And I fit right in.
Yeah, honestly.
It was a good time.
Need to have our astronomer friend come on the show.
Astronomer friend.
He's not actually an astronomer, but I'm going to say that for clickbait. So, who we met with like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. Bro, he's way cooler than an astronomer. No offense to astronomers. But
wait. Oh, I meant to say astronaut.
We're having a field day.
God, this astrology is just messing up our all the psychobabble they throw at us for.
We're all going to be astronauts.
Yeah, you think so?
We're all going to Mars. Probably not.
Yeah.
I like Earth a lot.
Earth's pretty cool. I don't think it's that bad.
I don't know.
Some people disagree with me, but I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the Titanic, you know? Might as well just go down with the ship. If it's going down, I'm going down with it.
All right. Cool.
I'm going down with it.
I think that's a good enough mantra to have.
Yeah. You know. Stop smoking.
Yeah. That's me.
Vape Nation.
Vape God. I was playing, it must have been at Rec Room or something like that, and I got like a decently high score on one, so I went to make my username, and I made it Vape God, but I was like V at P3G0D.
Nice.
That should be my Twitter handle.
Vape God. Oh boy.
We should actually make, a friend was telling me this, he thinks it would be a good idea to make like a show Twitter account. It might be a good way to garner interest. I don't know. It just, the way he said it.
Twitter?
I think.
See, that's my thing is like,
I feel like Twitter only like, it's literally like famous people use it.
That's what I feel like too.
Because at one point there was like a community on there.
There was like everybody that we knew was on there. And now nobody I know is on there.
But I mean, maybe I think a lot of people still have accounts and maybe look at it.
That's what I do is I look at it and I like follow and I like shit, but I don't tweet. Or I did try tweeting, but it was just, man, That you think Instagram takes a lot of time? That takes a lot of time.
Did it?
Oh yeah.
I read because I was thinking of that because you were doing that for a little bit.
I was like, I would actually schedule tweets. I would do 3 a day.
Yeah.
That's 90 a month, right?
Oh, I get. Yeah.
So, I mean, I was still kind of writing down notes and stuff whenever I thought of shit, but I don't know. I'm more of a long form writer too. Like I really like the.
Yeah, that's.
Give me a paragraph, man. You know.
Well, isn't Twitter now 280 versus 140?
It is. But still not long enough for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel, it, I just the way he said it sort of made it make sense to me. I'm like, maybe that would actually be like a good.
I'm down to do it.
Could be funny, but, and then just tweet it, ridiculous, obnoxious shit sort of thing. So
that is me.
We're going to pause for a sec here.
I would do it. Like I would do the Twitter thing.
Oh, yeah.
But don't get mad at me for the tirades I go on and the arguments I have with people.
Yeah. Spend all day just arguing.
I could see how it could fall into that for sure.
Well, I mean, I truly think you have to just put it out there.
That's how I push my mic.
I truly think you have to just put it out there and not look at comments or anything.
That's kind of what I do with Instagram.
Yeah, I was about to say Instagram, videos, etc.
Yeah, post,
and then
I'm out of there.
Yeah, get out of there.
Yeah.
Get out. Don't go back. Well, I also have post notifications off, which is kind of good because then when I post a photo or something, I can just post it, close my phone, and not look at it for however long. Right?
You know those like big YouTubers that actually follow their comments and stuff? How?
Even there's some. Well, then there's something to be said about it for true social media engagement in terms of even people who have 10,000 Instagram followers or whatever. Some of them are actually quite good at they'll go through, they'll like your stuff. They might not always follow you back, but they'll like your stuff. They'll respond to comments, respond to messages. It's definitely a job, or it can be, or it should be, or you need to treat it as such for sure. Right?
There's a reason there's social media managers, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, we have experience with that, so
yeah,
kind of
to a degree.
Yeah. I don't know. I would. That's kind of a thing. Is I would definitely outsource that.
See, I'm actually feel as though I'm almost actually getting to that point where I'm trying to put more effort into it, but I think I'm getting pretty close to the cutoff point where it might be good to invest in someone else to do it for me, even if it's only a portion of the work, if that makes any sense, right?
Yeah.
Where they're on for 3 to 6 hours a week doing X, Y, and Z, and then I just have to take from that sort of thing.
Yeah. Engagements maybe.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not a huge
See, I think content creation is more where I struggle the most.
Oh, okay.
But engagement, I mean, for me, I spend a lot of countless hours just scrolling and getting lost in the explore page.
Yeah.
I might as well
actually comment,
do something good up from
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
Right?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I mean, a lot of people, that's what they do is just.
Yeah. So if you're spending your time there anyways, why not try and do it in a more constructive way, thoughtful way, intentful way?
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe down the road for sure. I try to post at least a couple times a week now.
I honestly just think it's something where it's really just effort.
Trial. Well, it's consistency, and it's
consistency,
also
effort. Just bucking up and doing it.
It becomes a habit.
Making it a habit. Yeah. Taking the initiative. Yeah. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right.
Yeah. I kind of was totally against it a few years ago. I think you were too.
What?
Social media almost in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the whole time, the whole time I've been a realtor, for example, I've known the importance of it and could have been a earlier adopter and gotten ahead of the curve a bit. If
Yeah.
if I had started doing even what I'm doing now in 2015, I think I would be very much far ahead of the pack, at least on social media, in whatever that might look like or translate to.
Sure.
Because that whole time I knew I should be doing it, but I just never did enough with it. You
Gotcha.
know?
Yeah.
So
I don't know what it was for me. I just was like,
just didn't do it.
I was into it.
I would
early
actually
days.
love to be in a position to like not have it.
Yeah.
But it
Right
now
one of
today,
our buddies, not on any of it, right?
oh yeah,
Guy I live with in Montreal.
oh right.
I mean, you can definitely do it, but I think if you're running a business, the ability to market for free is a big draw.
It's tremendous.
Is a big draw. Yeah, when you look at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just living your life or whatever, I don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, even if you could get to a point of owning a company and still having a social media account for that company, then you don't really need your personal brand one.
Yeah.
But at this point, because I am invested in the whole personal brand thing, that it would be stupid for me to work on it for 5, 7, 10 years and then just be like, finally I can retire from social media. Maybe that'll be a thing, hey? Like retiring on a personal aspect that way too.
Maybe. I don't think so, because then you stop living.
Or do you?
I don't know.
Or do you start?
Ooh. I'm going to have to meditate on that one tonight.
Mm-hmm. So when you meditate, do you try to, because there's 2 styles I was reading about, and one where you try to truly think about nothing, and one where you allow a thought to enter your head but you don't think about it or pass any judgment, and then you allow it to exit kind of at the same time.
I kind of do a combination of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I know that I'm having thoughts, and then I kind of just acknowledge it and let it pass. That's how I would do it. I don't try to think about nothing, because when you do that, you start thinking inevitably about something.
Yeah.
So
well, it's funny because I felt as though the one fucking article I read that described what I
good
just
research,
said.
dude.
Yeah, top Google results. I know everything.
You're really going in depth on this one.
But what they almost, from my semi-brief experience so far, they kind of connect, because I try to think about nothing, but then you start thinking about so many things, like all over the map. It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
But then trying to be like, again, just kind of let it pass at the same time.
I knew that it wasn't bullshit because I went to a sports psychologist when I was in grade 11, so I would have been 16, 17 years old. And there was an exercise he had me do, and I actually felt like I was sitting in a chair, but I felt like I was falling. Like falling into an infinite abyss type of thing. Just not coming back. And it was scary as shit. But there was definitely something to it. And you can also, with breath pattern, you can actually lower your heart rate. So as a goalie, you would use it. Oh, I got scored on. I have to let go of what just happened, because it's in the past. It's not a thing, because that's what happens to a lot of athletes is, okay, I miss a putt in golf and that stays with you for the rest of the round, or I let a goal in hockey or whatever sport and that stays with you for the rest of the game. And it's called the yips, because you essentially get into a thought pattern of, I'm not good enough, even though you're physically where you need to be. Because really the differentiator at the highest levels of any sport is not physical. All the people train hard.
Yeah.
Everybody's physically gifted and talented. It's the mindset. And that's where I saw huge benefits in it. Not in just in hockey, but in just like my personal life too.
Yeah. It is interesting that because I kind of, you mentioned sports psychology somewhat recently in a context where like it wasn't talking to me directly, I don't believe. And I sort of had forgotten you did that, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's interesting that you were exposed to that so young, relatively young.
The reason was because when I was 15 years old, like I was playing in the 15-year-old league or whatever, right? And I mean, I was good enough to play in that league, but my headspace wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And my headspace was always questioning, am I good enough?
Yeah.
Oh, as the puck goes in.
Yeah.
I'm good enough. If I let go of those thoughts and I focus 100% on what I'm actually doing, that changes a lot of everything, really, right?
So would you say, did you do 1 year of the sports psychology?
I did it through grade 11, grade 12. I did it for 2 years. And then I just took it and started doing my own stuff with it. But there's definitely huge merit to it.
Yeah. Do you think it helped your hockey abilities?
No, it helped my confidence in real life.
Yeah.
It changed my life entirely.
Interesting.
I was definitely more of a shy kid, and then started doing this, and confidence is kind of like a make it till you break it type of thing, in where it's why hockey players are so cocky.
Fake it till you make it.
Pretty much. Is because, well, some of them believe they're the best, but a lot of them have to fake it until they actually. There's a lot of research into, like smile and you'll be happy type of thing, right?
Right. Yes, I see what you're saying.
The same thing goes for posture. I keep my shoulders back. I keep my head up. I actually will be a more confident person.
Yeah.
I'll be more attractive. I'll find it easier to talk to people. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's definitely this is where I get hippy dippy and shit, but there's
actually a lot of research to the whole posture thing and social status, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah.
So, would highly recommend meditation, and even if it's for 5 minutes at a time. A lot of people have tremendous difficulty even for 5 minutes.
Well, I'm also new to it.
Yeah.
But for me, it's interesting just how hard it is to truly quiet my mind.
Yeah.
Like I get moments of like where I think I'm thinking about nothing, like truly just being.
And then you start thinking.
And then you start thinking about that you're thinking nothing, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And for me, I think I try not to be. How do I say this? When I say I'm so ADD or I'm so OCD, I believe I at least check quite a few of the boxes for those things.
Yeah.
Maybe not clinically to meet the bare minimum, but I think more than most people. Because some people will just like they'll make their bed and be like, I'm so OCD, ha ha ha. But it's like, no, I think I'm a little beyond that, right? So
yeah, we were joking about this with the mic box and all that.
Yeah, and even the ADD thing, kind of realizing that in my like business life and stuff too.
Yeah,
but where the fuck was I going with this?
There it is.
So with the meditation thing, just trying to like really concentrate, but then acknowledge how kind of overactive my mind is,
right?
But then trying to quiet it, and then also trying to focus on one thing at a time, I guess.
Sure. I think it's less about thinking about nothing and more about acknowledging every thought that we have. I think it's about realizing I'm thinking this and then asking why.
Why? Yeah.
Because a lot of people will go through life with a certain ingrained software program in their head that tells them.
And not... Right, I get how to think, how to feel. And that ties back to the earlier inputs versus output sort of thing.
Yeah.
where, yeah, I mean, you never really question, why do I think this way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't.
Or what made me think of this? Or,
no, but if you go back,
whatever.
I think that's what a lot of psychologists look into, right? Is like
Yeah.
childhood trauma or
Mhm.
whatever. This
Mhm.
is just the thought pattern that had been ingrained into you from
Yeah.
a very young age or whatever. But
Mhm.
what you don't realize is you can choose.
Yeah.
And that's super
Yeah.
powerful. If
I think
everybody
so.
realized that.
Or to just really think about your own thoughts and the conversation you have in your head.
Yeah.
And one thing that made me think about this was just reading some stuff about psychology research on, well, what are thoughts? Are thoughts strictly a conversation you have in your head? Or are they something tangible where you're kind of visualizing something or whatever?
Right.
And they're essentially a really strange mix of both when you really think about it.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to like talk about The Secret or something, or, like,
yeah.
but there is definitely a thing to visualization and going into, a meeting. If I'm having a meeting tomorrow and I just play out the scenario,
Yeah.
like you can make it happen exactly how you imagined it.
Well, I believe you manifest your reality, and not in a The Secret way. It's that if you think about something all the time, your subconscious will kind of start pushing you in that direction.
Yep.
And you will start inadvertently taking actions towards that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So,
Plus, I mean, I start thinking about pink Beetle cars, and all of a sudden I start noticing
exactly.
every single
Exactly.
Volkswagen
Yeah.
Beetle. I'm not going to see pink ones very much,
Yeah.
but they're
Yeah.
they're out there.
Yeah.
God damn it! But
Well, yeah, and even what I'm kind of saying is, what's a good example I can think of here? Well,
podcasting,
yeah. So I start thinking about podcasting a lot.
sure.
I might start listening to a whole bunch, or I might be like, I want to make a really hit podcast, which I have done.
Already there.
But, you might start listening to a bunch of them.
Yeah.
You might just start paying attention to them. You might notice all of a sudden, well, it's funny because this is twofold on how, like, let's go Instagram algorithms work.
Yeah.
But anyways, so you will probably eventually start trending towards something and will lead you to take action, and then you might find yourself sitting here doing this and be like, oh my God, The Secret is true. Well, no, you know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
So there is something to, like, it's not good vibes into the universe. The explanation is much simpler. So if you just start thinking about your fitness all the time, or selling more homes, or getting better at guitar, if you just really think about that and visualize it, it's just because you're thinking about it so much, you'll start taking more action.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
And then it's also where I was going. I wanted to finish that thought, but the Instagram algorithm thing is kind of funny, where once you express an interest in a topic, you start to see it.
Yeah, you just keep
all the time.
Yeah.
So this almost begets that. It's kind of funny, I guess, in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's engineered that way. Like,
so maybe there is a positive spin.
There's a lot of psychologists in the background of those companies.
Oh yeah.
To get people.
Well,
engaged.
to get you attached to it, but I would again. I mean, maybe there is some positive in that, right?
Perhaps.
Depends what you're looking at all the time, I guess.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, if that's, you can make your world whatever you want it to be, right? It's simply, if I look at butts, there's going to be a lot of butts in my life. Like, no, but if your world is dark, you're only going to see that darkness, right? You're not going to see the good in the world. You're not going to see the happiness. You're not going to see the people going out of their way to make other people's lives better. You're only going to see the bad stuff, right? So it's very much a mental game of focusing on, for me at least, it's the good. So your quip about the good vibes, you just got to put them out there.
Yeah.
So,
and then it's, well, again, if you're a pleasant person to be around or put out good vibes or you smile, you're just in a good mood, people kind of will reciprocate that back to you just because you're friendly and nice to talk to, even when you go up and order a coffee at a place or whatever.
Yep.
Right? So, again, Occam's razor, the explanation is awfully the most simple one, right? Or the best explanation is often the most simple one, right?
Yeah.
So, well, if you put out good vibes and then you notice everyone seems to be happy around you, have you created that made the universe be happier towards you? Or is it just the simpler psychology that, well, if you just go around with a smile on your face and are nice to talk to, people, generally speaking, will be nice back to you just because it's kind of normal to reflect that. Right?
I would say so.
So it's kind of that thing where it's, are you creating reality? Scientifically, no,
Generally,
but at the same time, well, you kind of are, though, right? You are changing the world around you, even though the explanation is quite simple. It is what you're doing in a meta way.
And the world around you in that regard is really the only world that matters.
Yeah.
You know, like if we have the ability to go see what's going on the other side of the world, but the only thing that affects us is really that universe.
Yeah.
U-Y-O-U, universe. You know? So.
Universe. Boo.
Let's talk about the vibrations, though, because let's talk, like, you know how in physics there's waves?
Yeah.
And if you actually have a wave that meets another wave at the crest, you can make a bigger wave.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with humans in conversation.
Explain.
Have you ever been sitting across, like, have you had a really, really good date before where you're sitting across from a girl, for example, and you're just like, everything you're saying is just like, it's heightening the emotion of the interaction?
Yes.
That's that.
Mm-hmm.
So vibes are real.
Got it.
Yeah.
I like how we chirp astrology 20 minutes ago, and now we're going a little woo-woo, but...
We're going woo-woo.
Yeah.
No, there's...
woo-woo.
on the Cernovich podcast you and I listen to sometimes, there's his buddy. He talks about essentially the end goal of humanity is to vibrate on the highest level possible. And that, like, when he said that, I was like, I see what you're saying for sure.
Yeah, I think I kind of get what you're going at there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd agree with you. It's kind of something where you could almost think both are true, where there's probably a simpler psychological explanation to how a good conversation builds on itself and you create connection with the person.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just say, our vibes are in sync. And it's like, well, I mean, both are kind of true, right? So could be.
I think that's where spirituality and like religion come from, is that outlook on it as opposed to psychological explanation.
Yeah.
Of, you know, my brain synapses are firing in this order, so therefore, you know.
Yeah, I guess, right? So.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's the more simplistic one. Maybe it is the spirituality.
Yeah, exactly. It could be either, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's very interesting to think about. I think about it a lot.
Yeah.
When you start thinking about like how big all this is.
Yeah.
This podcast is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. How massive the reach is. But I mean,
you do get taken aback for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's quite difficult to really grasp how big even Edmonton is, and Canada, and then the
North
Earth,
America,
and then the
oceans.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you look up and you're like, oh
shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's. Yeah, I mean, we're really...
talk about vibes for a second. There was a conversation you, me, and Nathan were having when I was dropping Nathan off at his house. This was probably like a year ago, maybe.
I remember, actually.
And the conversation was talking about, like something we were all passionate about, which was obviously like, it was about the universe or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were just like, the conversation was like, the feeling was like the vibe, like, but yeah.
Well, and you're also building that kind of confidence and trust within that interaction, if you will, right? Kind of the social dynamics, social norms of it.
Yeah.
And we even talked about this with some of our other hosts and stuff, where this longer form content, even an hour, hour and a half,
you get it. Like you get to
further into it, right?
Yeah.
It's not the quick soundbite morning television things anymore.
It's not
right?
edited.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, and you can kind of see that in how, like, a conversation typically will actually
meander,
and I would say by the end get slightly more off the rails, where it's almost like, if you're going to listen to a 2-hour podcast, you need to like
listen to the whole thing.
Don't just skip to the last half hour.
Listen to the whole thing.
Listen to the whole thing. But the last half hour, if you were like, well, let's pretend you just want to see that last half of it. Like, if that's all you listen to, it won't make any sense. It would actually seem quite weird, most likely.
Most conversations that I have, they tend to go full circle.
Yeah.
Like they just come around. Even if it's 3 hours later, you're talking about X and you get on to like fucking double Z.
Yeah.
It comes back to X eventually. It just, it takes, it just meanders through the flotsam and jetsam of conversation.
What's that?
I'm trying to be deep here, bro.
Oh, okay. I don't know what those words mean.
The ocean of conversation, we'll put it that way.
Yeah. The ocean of conversation. So I was going to go on a bit of a space tangent in a way, but thinking about the universe and stuff is, I was recently reading, I don't know, I kind of went down the YouTube rabbit hole the other day, or I do that once in a while, but, and it was talking about several, I was reading / watching some things on just time travel and the implausibilities with it. And because, the most recent Avengers movie, time travel was an aspect of it. And they kind of talk about it as if the version of time travel they do in their movie is more correct than other movies' time travels. Time traveling.
Was this the channel that you sent me with regard to the Universal S?
No, but it was like, I think I had watched, that guy who made that video, I had watched something of his on some space shit.
Okay.
Let me come back to that one.
Yeah,
but
we will.
But but anyways, I found a video on kind of the top theories of why we haven't had any contact with aliens, right? And you have your typical rare earth hypothesis.
Yep.
You have there's one where it's kind of like there's a point of kind of critical mass in a civilization where you either hit this point and destroy yourselves or get past it.
Okay.
And then become spacefaring, which means
yeah.
in theory, assuming all life is semi-carbon based, you would probably eventually discover the combustion engine, which eventually leads to nuclear capabilities.
Yeah.
Which means either, and then the crazy part to think about, there's a name for this theory, is if Earth maybe is past this line, and that's why, and it's very hard to get past that.
You need to send me this video, but
and do you follow?
I'm following.
If you get past this line, get past the post, then maybe it's very hard to, and we're one of the few civilizations that has done it. Or the scarier part is that we have not approached it.
Yeah, we're on the doorstep.
Yeah. So,
which I think is probably more likely.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I also just think, and then there's another one called, kind of a sort of a singularity where technology, rather than becoming spacefaring as a civilization, you actually transcend and become like a collective consciousness and sort of like upload to computers and stuff, and then you just sort of exist. The theory is that a planet that does that would actually almost appear dark from space.
Gotcha.
Because I don't know. It's a really interesting video. And then also the thing too is, as high tech as we think we are with space and telescopes and stuff.
Yeah.
We're
in our infancy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And our ability to survey the universe and space is like walking to the ocean and taking a cup, scooping water out of the ocean, and looking in it to try to find aquatic life and make judgments about the entire ocean from that cup of water.
And
because
sand.
Essentially it's so absurdly big and we only have so much capacity of how to look at the universe. So that's essentially what our effective sample size is of the universe.
Yeah, we can't fathom how big it is.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Where was I going with that?
Universal S.
Yeah, we'll get back to that in a second. But there was something you said there about like how we merge with technology or whatever, and then we just become this collective consciousness or whatever. I think that is the argument. We want to go that direction so we can explore the universe, because the limiting factor is our
physical.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, one would argue the human collective group nature of my group versus your group limits that.
Yeah.
And also the physical of, well, for us to travel to another galaxy by our current methods is 10 million light years. Well, that's a very long time for you and me as humans.
Yeah.
But
we're never getting
for
there.
some advanced technology.
Yeah.
We'll get there. As my parents always said on car rides, we get there when we get there. Right? So, wow, I just had a very deep thought regarding that.
Yeah, like, I mean,
Doctor, my baby keeps saying this human form is limiting. What do I do?
Transfer its consciousness to Google Cloud
for $9.99 a
month. Yeah, that's very interesting to think about, because that is our limiting factor, right? Like, we're very fragile physically.
Yeah, interesting.
But I also don't think that I think the far more likely outcome is we destroy ourselves, because we are simply
monkeys wearing shoes.
Pretty much. Conversation comes full circle. You know, like
yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to sound like a skeptic here, but everything comes back to nature, right? And like, we think that we can outsmart nature, but I don't think we can. It's too big. It's too powerful.
I personally think the good of humanity will eventually prevail in some way. I mean, even if it does mean World War III happening.
I mean, if we were Team Earth against some other team, maybe.
Team Mars.
You know, like, if there was like a way to collectivize all of humanity in a common goal. Yeah, I could see that.
It's it. And I think that would also be our... Oh, God, this part of the fucking show.
We need a real camcorder.
Oh, God, yeah, seriously. Okay.
Sorry, your thought?
What was I saying?
Collective, Team Earth. If we could.
Oh, well, in order to be a successfully spacefaring civilization, you probably need to be semi, like, what's the word? Like I guess a globalist, right? Where you have one more common human world identity. But some would argue that's not feasible. I don't know.
No.
Who knows? You know what's crazy? Eventually, maybe in our lifetime, there will be the first Martians. people born on Mars, not from Earth.
It'd be interesting for sure.
Will you have a Martian passport?
You ever see Titan AE?
No.
From like 2000? It's an animated movie.
Okay. I think I know what movie you're talking. I don't know what happens in it, but I can picture the like cover of it.
Yeah. They essentially throw a bunch of humans on like colonies, which are spaceships.
Yeah.
And I mean, those colonies become your new planet because the Earth gets destroyed or whatever. So, I don't know.
I think that's the premise for one of the Call of Duty games where it's like future warfare or whatever. So it's like set in the future instead of like one of the previous wars.
Yeah.
Where, like what kind of the spacefaring nation.
Did they rip off Halo?
No, because they're still humans and they like lived on.
There's humans in Halo.
Yeah, but they weren't fighting each other.
No.
So
I guess.
But anyways, the moon nation like attacks the Earth or whatever. Yeah. And Kit Harington, like Jon Snow, is the main bad guy. Which is a weird thing, by the way, putting like actors in video games,
yeah.
but like modeling it after them. I
That's
think it's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know.
Like Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like it to go the Halo route because that would be fucking cool. But
yeah. Well, my even thought was, I think we are kind of like self-deprecating as humans in many ways, where we, in sci-fi and stuff, I mean, it makes better stories this way, in that we assume we are kind of the less advanced civilization, and other aliens are more advanced, stronger than us, very futuristic. They're bigger, their scream can shatter windows for miles around and leap over buildings and fly and what the fuck.
Yeah.
Maybe we're actually the strongest ones and furthest along, and the universe is so infinitely large that we are actually very early on, all things considered.
Could be.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something to think about.
I just think that there's definitely something out there.
Yes.
For me,
I'd agree.
To think that there's nothing out there, pretty depressing.
Well, there's only two things that can be true. We're either entirely alone or not alone at all in the universe, and both thoughts are quite terrifying. Yeah.
I mean, if a super advanced civilization came and visited Earth tomorrow, they would just be like, they wouldn't see anything interesting probably,
Maybe. Well, actually, it's interesting because there's actually a problem with Earth. Actually has a lot of debris in our atmosphere, like junk, garbage, right? Yeah. Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about this with Joe Rogan. So basically, if you were to like fly by Earth on a spaceship and look out your window, it would look kind of like, the beaches you see in like Haiti where there's just like garbage all over the beach. It would basically look like that. So you would probably as an alien be like, fuck that place, that's filthy. We're not going there, right? So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Debris as in like satellites that are dead.
Yes, like literally just crap.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to get rid of because it just spins around at 17,000 kilometers an hour or whatever the rotational speed is. And but a lot of it burns up, but there's actually a lot of junk out there that it's large enough it won't collapse into the atmosphere. So
like it stays in LEO.
Yes. Where because Joe Rogan asked Neil deGrasse Tyson if he was in favor of the Space Force that Trump proposed.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, yes, actually, if we clean up our atmosphere, because it's like there's a lot of space debris and it's actually a huge hazard for spacewalks and stuff, which I think is the premise of is that not what's the movie with Sandra Bullock?
I know exactly. No, it's not Interstellar.
Yeah. But I think the premise of that is
I know which one you're talking about. I've seen it. George Clooney.
That something like some random thing, like a screw is fucking bolting around and just nails her spaceship or whatever.
Yeah, it knocks them. They're on a spacewalk or something and knocks them.
Yeah.
Knocks them off.
Apparently, physics in that movie, out the door. Yep.
Universal S.
Have you seen Interstellar, actually?
Is that the one with McConaughey?
Yeah.
I saw bits and pieces.
It's apparently really weird. I've never actually watched it. Apparently, that's the only movie, though, that is semi-accurately accounts for time dilation.
Yes.
When traveling at
because they're on
close to the speed of light.
Because they're on some planet, and for every minute or something, it's like 7 years or
something like that. Yeah. Where when he gets back to Earth, it's been like 1,000 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So
it's like I'll never see my daughter again or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. There's I used to know more about the theory of general and special relativity, but anyways.
Yeah, I bought that On the Shoulders of Giants book.
Oh, right. Is that Stephen Hawking's book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it goes through all the proofs and everything. We were talking about it with Nathan, but it's a dense read.
Oh, I bet. Okay, we got to wind this down here, so we'll save the space talk for another day.
Sounds good.
So anyways, the Universal S. Maybe we should make a shirt that just has the Universal S on it. So,
I completely forgot about that until you sent me that video, and I was like, holy shit, I used to draw those all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was like this cool thing.
So there was actually this video on YouTube.
Yeah,
I'll put a link to it because it's actually the guy did a good job researching it. But
he actually talks about how much effort he put into it.
Oh, I know. And that guy actually makes some good videos.
Yeah.
I think his channel is called like LEMMiNO, like LEMINO, but as if you're saying let me know.
Yeah.
But you probably at some point in your childhood drew it somewhere on in the margins of your notebook an S that was two rows of three parallel lines, and you would connect them to make kind of like a bubble diamond shaped bubble S, kind of a you probably call that like the skateboard S or something like 3DS or something like that.
Yeah, not
but
Nintendo.
I stumbled upon a video on YouTube the other day of the history of where that letter came from, because there was a discussion online this guy found where basically people from all around the world
draw it.
Yeah, and it's a meme as defined by who was it? Charles Darwin who
Darwin or Dawkins
or something? I think Dawkins. I think Charles Darwin. Well, that was before his time. But defined a meme as like what a meme is. The true definition of the word,
right?
In that like it's a global known thing. But so the guy actually traced the history of the Universal S, and it's hilarious, but actually very well done at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it comes back to like.
Don't spoil the ending.
Oh, okay, fine.
But it's been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah, a long time. So.
Yeah.
And I like how he goes through like all the graffiti and stuff.
Oh, I know. Like it's actually, but it's so interesting. Like all around the world, going back decades, and then he even notices it kind of in like Basquiat paintings and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's call it then, because you gotta get your ass to
get out of here. So gotta kick Josh out. So we'll be back next week with hopefully a cool guest. So
yeah, we teamed up with the of Two Girls One
Broadcast again, which it will be dropping by the time you hear this. It'll be it's Tuesday the 3rd is when it comes out.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that at 2 Girls 1 Broadcast, all one word, number 2, number 1.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably put that up on our channel too, so you don't have to spend countless hours finding it. But we'll look out. I almost forgot to mention that. Yeah, so check that out. That'll be coming out next week by the time you're hearing this. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A little different to be more the interviewees versus interviewers, and
I do it again.
Oh, absolutely. And then they ask some good questions and stuff, so if you want to get to know a little more about Josh and myself.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am Thomas.
And I'm Josh. And that's probably not good to do for the people who are like, man, I can't tell who's talking sometimes.
It's the opposite. But anyway.
Yeah. All right.
Take care, guys. Peace.
See you next week. Now, wait just a minute. Before you go, just a sincere thank you for listening to the show. You can find new episodes of the Long and Hard podcast every Wednesday morning, about 9 a.m.-ish, give or take. Don't hold me to that. We really appreciate you subscribing. If your podcast platform allows you to leave a review, please leave us a kind review if you've enjoyed the content here. Just a reminder, Long and Hard podcast. You can also find our other shows, other channels, the Millennial Homeowner podcast hosted by me, and the Invictus podcast hosted by Josh. If you head over to our website, longandhardpodcast.com, and see our other shows there. Once again, a quick reminder that Thomas Harrington and Joshua Blaze are licensed real estate professionals in the province of Alberta, and any discussions here involving real estate are not intended to solicit buyers or sellers under contract. And just a friendly reminder, hey, this is a conversation. This show is not intended to be legal or professional or medical or any other kind of specific advice. Please consult a relevant professional in said area before acting on anything or any ideas you might get here. Thanks for listening as always, and we'll see you next week. Peace.